Derrick Henry potentially joining the Dallas Cowboys for the 2025 NFL season isn't just some wild off-season buzz. It could be one of the most monumental shifts in offensive identity that this franchise has seen in over a decade. This is a move that carries weight. Serious weight. We're talking about a player who has come to define an era of football built on brute strength, resilience, and sheer dominance. Henry, the former face of the Tennessee Titans, is not just a running back. He's a 6'3", 250-pound juggernaut, a freight train in shoulder pads, with top-end speed that leaves linebackers gasping and a stiff arm that's ended more careers than we care to count. His name alone sends chills down the spine of defenders, and now, with mounting speculation about his move to Dallas, the entire league should be on alert. Henry is entering the next chapter of his career, with plenty still left in the tank. Despite the years and the mileage, he hasn't slowed down. In fact, he's continued to post monster seasons, 1,500-yard campaigns, double-digit touchdowns, and game-changing playoff performances that have carried the Titans deeper than they ever should have gone. His physical style of play doesn't just gain yards, it breaks wills. That's something Dallas hasn't had since the prime of Ezekiel Elliott. While Tony Pollard flashed promise, he was never built to be that punishing between the tackles workhorse. And last year's running back committee? It was uninspiring. It lacked the threat. It lacked the tone-setting punch. Defenses never feared the Cowboys' run game, and it showed especially in big moments. Enter Derrick Henry, and suddenly the entire dynamic changes. He's not just a back who can give you a few explosive plays. He's a guy who can carry the ball 20 to 25 times every week, wear down defenses, and control the pace of a game from kickoff to final whistle. And when you're trying to close out a win, he's the guy you give the rock to 3 straight times, knowing the defense can't stop it. That kind of presence is rare, and in today's NFL, even rarer. But Henry brings it, consistently, relentlessly. From a coaching and schematic standpoint, the fit is nearly perfect. Brian Schottenheimer, stepping up as offensive coordinator, signals a desire for a more physical, balanced identity on offense. Derrick Henry is tailor-made for that vision. With Henry in the backfield, the Cowboys don't have to lean so heavily on Dak Prescott's arm. They don't have to live or die by a precision timing passing game that has crumbled in too many high-pressure postseason situations. Instead, they can return to something more primal, run the football, dominate the trenches, and dictate the pace. It's a blueprint that worked back in 2016 when a rookie Zeke Elliott and a dominant offensive line helped Dallas steamroll through opponents. Plug Henry into that formula, and you get even more violent downhill running, more respect from opposing defenses, and more room for CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks to work on the outside thanks to wide-open play-action look. The trickle-down effect is real. The load on Dak lightens. The offense becomes more methodical, less risky. Third and long becomes third and manageable. Turnovers go down. Time of possession goes up. And the Cowboys transform into a team that's built for December and January, not just highlight reels in September. Now imagine being a defensive coordinator facing this team. You stack the box to slow Henry down? Fine, but then you're leaving your corners exposed, and Dak can hit Lamb or Cooks over the top. You back off to play the pass? Great now, Henry's carving you up for 5, 6, 7 yards a carry, keeping your defense on the field and your offense cold on the sideline. It's a pick-your-poison scenario that very few defenses are built to survive. And then there's the identity factor. That's what this really comes down to. The Cowboys have lacked a true offensive identity for years. One week, they're slinging it 40 times. The next, they can't move the chains. It's inconsistent. It's reactionary. But Derrick Henry changes that. He gives you purpose. He gives you structure. He gives you an identity rooted in physicality, toughness, and control qualities championship teams are built on. It's not just about stats. It's not about Pro Bowl nods or fantasy football points. It's about controlling the tempo of games and imposing your will. That's what Henry does better than anyone. Now, layer on the rivalry implications. The NFC East is a powder keg already. The Eagles just added Saquon Barkley to an already loaded offense featuring A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. The stage is set for a historic divisional showdown. But if Dallas brings in Derrick Henry, that's a seismic shift in the arms race. Picture it: Cowboys vs. Eagles in prime time, Henry on one side, Barkley on the other. Two of the most physically gifted running backs of their era colliding in meaningful postseason implication games. These matchups wouldn't just be games, they'd be battles in the trenches. Smashmouth football at its finest. Whoever controls the line of scrimmage wins. And let's not pretend Philly's defense wouldn't feel the pressure. Henry would force them to change everything. No more leaning on finesse or undersized linebackers to make plays. You'd need a full commitment to gap discipline, stacked boxes, and brute strength just to slow him down. That adjustment opens up the passing game for Dallas. That ripple effect forces the Eagles and every other NFC contender to rethink their entire defensive game plan. And beyond the X's and O's, Henry fits Dallas culturally. He's not loud. He's not flashy. He's not a distraction. He's a leader, a worker, a tone setter. The Cowboys' locker room could use a guy like that, someone who leads by example, someone who shows up every Sunday ready to carry the weight of a franchise. For years, the Cowboys have looked like a team with talent but no edge, no attitude. Henry brings both, quietly, efficiently, and with undeniable force. Now, financially speaking, there are hurdles. Henry isn't going to come cheap, and Dallas has traditionally been wary of spending big on aging running backs. But the timing might be perfect. Big contracts are coming off the books. Cap flexibility is returning. The team knows it's in win-now mode. Mike McCarthy's seat isn't getting any cooler. This is the moment to take a risk, especially for a player who isn't just another back. Derrick Henry is the exception. He's the prototype. He's the kind of singular talent that elevates an entire team. Sure, critics will say he's 30. They'll point to the history of declining production from running backs. But those critics probably haven't been watching. Henry hasn't shown signs of slowing down. He's evolved. He trains smarter. He hits less, but hits harder. He still has the burst. Still has the vision. And above all, he still has that drive, that belief that he can be the best in the game. He's not chasing one more contract. He's chasing a legacy. And for a Cowboys team that's been on the verge for years, Derrick Henry might be the one piece that tips the scale. This isn't just about adding talent. It's about sending a message. A message to the locker room, to the league, to the fans. The Cowboys are tired of being close. They're tired of hearing about potential. They want results. Henry's arrival would make it clear they're serious. They're done playing it safe. They're all in. And can you imagine the moment he walks out of the tunnel at a T&T stadium? That star on his helmet, the crowd roaring, Thanksgiving Day, national TV Derrick Henry running wild against a rival defense? It's not just a dream. It's a statement. The Cowboys would no longer be that team with questions about whether they can finish. They'd be a team built to dominate. So as we inch closer to training camp, all eyes turn to Jerry Jones and the Dallas front office. Will they make the bold move? Will they change the narrative? If they do, if Derrick Henry puts on that silver and blue jersey, the rest of the NFL better pay attention. Because the Cowboys won't just be America's team anymore. They'll be the team nobody wants to play and possibly the most dangerous team in all of football.